Boundary failures, 5 moments. Reality forgot its own rules. Reality is not the stable foundation we pretend it to be. Beneath the reassuring constancy of physical laws lurks something unstable, a system occasionally revealing catastrophic errors. These 5 documented boundary failures suggest our universe operates less like immutable clockwork and more like buggy software, with terrifying implications for those caught in its glitches. The quantum resurrection. Dr. Abigail Chen died on operating table B at Massachusetts General Hospital on March 17, 2013. This is medical fact, recorded in hospital logs and witnessed by 6 medical professionals. Time of death, 3:42 a.m. Cause cardiac arrest following complications from routine appendectomy. Her body was transferred to the morgue at 4:30 a.m. At 3:42 a.m. the following day, Dr. Chen walked into her own apartment, confused why her key initially didn't work. The locks had been changed following her death notification. Her husband, Dr. James Chen, a quantum physicist specializing in many worlds interpretation, suffered a stress-induced stroke upon seeing her. Medical examination showed a living, breathing Abigail Chen with no surgical incisions and no appendicitis. Hospital records still documented her death. The morgue still contained her body, identical down to DNA markers and a childhood scar on her elbow. Both versions of Abigail shared identical memories up to the moment of surgery. The living Dr. Chen reported experiencing what she called a flicker, a momentary sensation of channels changing during pre-surgical anesthesia. Theoretical physicists suggested a unique boundary failure between parallel realities. What should have been a quantum possibility, her survival, collapsed incorrectly, manifesting both outcomes simultaneously in a single timeline. The resurrected Chen developed increasingly severe boundary awareness, the ability to perceive quantum probabilities surrounding everyday events. She committed suicide 14 months later, leaving a note. The barriers between worlds are thinning. I can see too many versions of reality layered over each other. None of them are solid anymore. The backward room. In 2016, college students Ellie Matsuda and Derek Williams entered room 342 of Princeton's Palmer Physics Building to retrieve a forgotten textbook. Upon entering, they noticed the room appeared mirrored, furniture on opposite sides, windows reversed. Initially assuming renovation, they became disoriented when they observed the clock running counterclockwise and people outside the windows walking backward. Attempting to exit, they found the door led to an unfamiliar corridor. For approximately 7 minutes, they documented their experience with Ellie's phone camera, capturing footage of liquids flowing upward and lights that darkened rooms. The recording shows Derek's nosebleed traveling up into his nostril and vanishing. During their disorientation, campus security footage shows room 342 remained locked and unoccupied. At exactly 3:33 p.m., alarms triggered as the door burst open from inside, expelling both students who showed signs of extreme dehydration and exposure consistent with 3 days without water, despite being missing only minutes. Analysis of Ellie's phone revealed the video they recorded does not exist, yet battery usage data confirms something consumed 94% of her battery during those 7 minutes. Both students tested positive for temporal radiation, a theoretical particle disturbance previously only hypothesized in quantum boundary literature. Derek subsequently developed temporal dyslexia, experiencing random events in reverse sequence, and remains institutionalized. Ellie's condition proved worse. Her cells now age in reverse at the molecular level, a condition doctors estimate will revert her to a prenatal state within 7 years. The woman who remembers what never happened. Sarah Jeffries lives with a condition no neurologist can explain. She possesses detailed memories of world events that never occurred. Not delusional false memories, but extensive, internally consistent recollections of an alternate historical timeline, including technological developments, political figures, and cultural touchstones absent from our reality. She remembers a 2001 without terrorist attacks, but with a devastating tsunami that reshaped the eastern seaboard. Her memories include scientific papers on theoretical physics that, when tested by researchers, produced functional results despite being previously undiscovered. She recalls entire film franchises, complete with plot details and casting that never existed, yet describe actors with uncanny accuracy in roles they never played. Brain scans reveal that Sarah's memory centers activate when accessing these alternate memories, exactly as they would for legitimate recollections. Her brain cannot distinguish between our consensus reality and whatever other timeline she somehow accessed. Most disturbing, Sarah's false memories are spreading. 12 people who've spent significant time interviewing her now report similar alternate memories bleeding into their own recollections. 3 physicists working with her committed suicide after becoming convinced our reality is merely the wrong version of events, a corrupted timeline that shouldn't exist. The Phoenix House. On June 8, 2019, the Henderson family's suburban Chicago home burned to the ground, a devastating electrical fire that left nothing but ash and foundation. Insurance investigators, fire department reports, and numerous photographs document the complete destruction. The family moved into temporary housing while rebuilding. 3 weeks later, neighbors called police reporting lights in the destroyed home. Officers arrived to find the Henderson house standing intact. No fire damage, family possessions arranged inside, dinner plates still on the table with partially eaten food. The house had reconstituted itself from nothing, complete with family photographs showing events that hadn't happened yet, including their daughter's college graduation still 2 years away. Structural engineers confirmed the house was physically real, not a hallucination or mass delusion. Carbon dating of materials showed impossible results. Some elements of the house dated correctly to its 1997 construction, while others registered as being over 200 years old, and still others gave readings consistent with matter that does not yet exist in our time stream. The family refused to occupy the reconstructed home after investigating the basement and discovering it now extended far deeper than architecturally possible, with additional rooms containing furniture they never owned, and a collection of journals written in their handwriting, describing lives they never lived. The property remains quarantined by the Department of Energy after researchers discovered the house exists in quantum superposition, simultaneously present and absent depending on the observation method used. Motion-activated cameras inside regularly capture footage of the family going about daily routines, despite them living miles away. The airport where time dissolves. Terminal C of Singapore's Changi Airport presents a unique boundary failure that authorities have been unable to resolve since its emergence in 2020. Passengers transiting through gates C18 to C24 experience unpredictable temporal displacement. Most shifts are minor, arriving minutes before their departure, watches running backward briefly, or experiencing the same conversation multiple times. For unlucky travelers, the distortions prove more severe. Documented cases include a British businessman who aged 30 years during a 2-hour layover, his body showing cellular degeneration consistent with 3 decades of life, though his mind retained only hours of memories. A family of 4 who exited to find themselves in what appeared to be Changi Airport, but from 1995, complete with outdated signage and extinct airlines, before being corrected back to 2023 when attempting to exit the terminal. 17 passengers on Singapore Airlines Flight 4578 who arrived with identical memories of the plane crashing on approach, despite landing safely, and whose subsequent brain scans showed traumatic memory implantation, consistent with having experienced fatal impact. Most concerning are 7 documented cases of chronological smearing, where affected individuals exist partially in multiple timeframes simultaneously, perceiving several versions of the same location superimposed, unable to interact fully with any single reality. These passengers remain in specialized care facilities, their conditions worsening as their temporal coherence continues degrading. Despite rerouting flights and investigations by quantum physicists, the distortion field persists. Security cameras in the affected gates show regular anomalies, passengers disappearing mid-stride, others appearing from empty air, and in one chilling instance, a woman aging from 23 to 78 within 4 recorded frames. These boundary failures constitute more than mere anomalies. They represent fundamental fractures in what we understand as reality. Scientists studying these cases increasingly support a troubling hypothesis. Our universe operates as a procedurally generated simulation with occasional rendering errors. More disturbing is the corollary theory. These glitches are increasing in both frequency and severity, suggesting system-wide degradation of whatever underlies our experience of reality. For those who've witnessed reality's rules momentarily fail, the psychological impact proves devastating. When consensus reality betrays its most basic principles, what certainties remain? If space, time, and physical laws prove unreliable, what does that make us? The consciousness is trapped within an increasingly unstable system. Sleep well tonight, confident the floor beneath your bed will remain solid. That time will flow forward at its predictable pace. That the you who closes your eyes will be the same you who opens them tomorrow. After all, the system only glitches for some. So far.